You are mindful about the cost of accessing capital from the markets, okay, and especially when your rating has gone down the way it is, we are almost in a junk territory, right? So one basic understanding of the market is that when you come onto the market unattractive, you'll be punished.
For Ghana, the burden of debt servicing obligations, limited to interest payments only, was projected to reach approximately $5 billion at both domestic and external levels in 2023. Unlike its 16th enrollment in 2015, Ghana's unsustainable debt position was certainly a huge obstacle in obtaining an IMF deal. This meant a lot of conditions had to be met. The IMF's message to Ghana was very simple: restructure your debt or no bailout package.
I also want to assure all Ghanaians that no individual or institutional investor, including pension funds, in government treasury bills or instruments, will lose their money as a result of our ongoing IMF negotiations. There will be no haircuts. So I urge all of you to ignore the false rumors.
Instantly, the market knew the president wasn't speaking the truth. You see that right after the president made a statement, the reactions were more or less to reject the statements. And therefore, my expectation is that any investor who probably took a decision on the back of that, who wasn't an investor, was probably a lotto doctor.
Part 3 of A Nation That Begs is today, December 19, on the Joy News channel at 6:30 p.m. On to other stories. There's pressure from the minority in Parliament and civil society for a full-scale parliamentary probe into a contract between Government of Ghana and a private entity, Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited, to save Ghana billions of cedis that would have been lost in the downstream petroleum sector. According to an investigative piece by the Fourth Estate, the contract is questionable but has since been expanded by Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, which will cost the state $100 million in the next 10 years. We'll hear from the minority shortly, but first, assets of the 3 billion cedis lie.
In a control room in Tema in the Greater Accra region, officials of Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited explained their services to the Fourth Estate News team.
We have transistors which are engulfed in the ultrasonic clampons or the real sets.
The company tried to convince our news team of its wild claims that it had helped to save billions of Ghana cedis that would have been lost in the downstream petroleum sector but for its intervention. More importantly, it tried to justify why it receives payments worth millions of Ghana cedis from the government of Ghana through its contract with the Ghana Revenue Authority, GRA.
Currently, we are installing a time gauging system.
By the end of our second day at SML Ghana, however, we were convinced that a company, with the help of Ghana's media, had made false and unsubstantiated claims and is paid millions of cedis in a deal that appears to lack value for money. A few hours after our meeting, some of the claims began to disappear from the company's website.
We were shocked at one point when government said they were bringing in SML to actually sit at the depot where the product is lifted. And in fact, that is where there isn't much problem. Because when the product is lifted, MPA is able to see, how much product has been lifted through their gauging, tank gauging systems, and also the metering systems at the depots. So that was never the problem. The problem really was, how do you track it to where the tax is actually collected or is supposed to be collected for you to be able to make the money. So from day one, the importance of SML was questioned by all the industry players. You can talk to all the players in the sector and they will tell you that where SML is positioned, they cannot be doing revenue assurance for the state.
SML Ghana, like other private sector service providers, was engaged to curtail huge losses in the downstream petroleum sector. Some oil marketing companies, OMCs, which lifted petroleum products from the nation's depots, sold the products and refused to pay hundreds of millions of cedis of the tax, levies, and margins components on the petroleum products.
Some of these debts become quite heavy based on the OMC's liftings levels. So that's why some of these debts, and if the person is not stopped immediately from loading petroleum products, then it means he'll be accumulating as he goes on.
According to Minority Spokesperson on Mines and Energy, John Jinapa, who is also on the Finance Committee, the deal should be immediately suspended pending the parliamentary probe.
I think it doesn't because it's not an international transaction.
Yeah.
If it were an international transaction, but I think that it should have reflected in their budget approval. Because we've just considered GRS estimates. And this has not found expression in GRS estimates. It hasn't also found expression in the finance minister's estimates. Because these are huge figures. And for such huge figures, you would normally come with your budget and add a footnotes. And the footnotes gives us the details as to what you want to do, especially with your goods and services. So clearly there's a problem. It hasn't also found expression with NPA. So somebody quietly has signed this agreement, milking the nation, and but for Manasseh and his team, this would have been perpetrated for a very long time.
So realistically though, what can Parliament do about this?
First of all, Parliament can pass a resolution. And I think it's not too late that in considering their estimates and their appropriation, we want to see where this very amount sits. Which agency is responsible for this amount? And Parliament has the power to decide that we will not appropriate that money. In fact, we've just decided we are not appropriating some 5 billion for a certain entity because we felt that it was not necessary given the situation that we find ourselves. We are in a serious tangle with the Ministry of Finance itself. They are allocating some 350 million for some very projects that we disagree with. And we're saying that allocate it to the sector ministries. We don't agree to the Ministry of Finance keeping money, sitting with the Ministry of Finance and deciding that they want to engage in infrastructure projects. That is not their job.
Between the government of Ghana, led by the Ministry of Finance, and SML Limited, to undertake some so-called assurances, revenue assurance. And first of all, let me commend the fourth estate, Manasseh, and the media houses who conducted this investigation. Indeed, the minority has discussed this topical issue and will be moving processes in Parliament to ensure that there's full-scale investigation. Because we do not believe that there's value for money. This contract is a rip-off. This contract only ends up filling the pockets of greedy politicians and individuals, because just a couple of weeks ago, the Mines and Energy Committee visited NPA and were made aware that they've put in place enough systems, enough mechanism, enough infrastructure to ensure that all the loopholes and all the losses are safeguarded, and that they've even hooked up with the Ghana Revenue Authority to ensure that all those assurances are catered for. And so the question is that why would you need this? Even more importantly, it's turned out that the so-called 3 billion savings was nothing but a hoax. We cannot allow the taxpayer to be burdened with such unnecessary contracts.
Energy lawyer Kwame Jantua says there must be an independent probe into the deal. He spoke on PM Express last night.
What were they there for? Why did they bring them in? What was the reason for? If the amounts of money they say they pay them a month, 24 million.
Up to 24 million.
Up to 24 million every month. Then we don't need to go to IMF. If we have that kind of money in the country, we don't need to go to IMF. That's about 288 million a year. It's a lot of money, cedis, a year. So really and truly, we need to look at it. And the question is it the OSP or is it Parliament? I hope there would be probably a mix of Parliament, stakeholders, CSOs, to look into this particular issue. Because if OSP does not have the money to do a lot of these prosecutions, then it's going to go into what? 2024, 2025, 2026, when we will finally find something being done. So if Parliament, bringing in the CSOs, can sit and look into it and give us results quickly, it would help.
In the heart of anticipated lithium mining in the central region is Ewoya, a community of charcoal producers brimming with anticipation and dreams of a brighter future. Another affected community, Krofo, is however proceeding with caution, citing insufficient engagement with the company to understand fully the scope of the work ahead. It's a tale of it tastes better depending on where you're located. Head of our energy desk, Samuel Kujobrace, has been to the community and has come through with this report.
What we've heard is that work will soon begin, but we haven't seen it yet, and that is what we're waiting for. We're waiting for the mining to begin.
Auntie Mensime, a resident of Ewoya, expressing optimism in the prospect of the lithium mining in this area. Her optimism is being actualized by Atlantic Lithium with the announcement of an employment opportunity. The chief of Ewoya, Nana Mbrono Edu IX, says aside the announcement, the company has already employed some of the citizens.
We're training
They have trained about 3 people who are currently working. There used to be no jobs here apart from the charcoal business. Previously, when you come to this town, you will see no one around. But now, because of Atlantic Lithium, most of the youth are now employed. We are content with what Atlantic Lithium is doing here.
He describes Atlantic Lithium as a good social partner to his community.
I was here when they brought the plan. The road contract has been awarded. All the engineers that came, I met them in Accra and brought them here. They have opened up about a lot of things they plan to do to help the communities.
I meet Charles Adolfo, a native of Ewoya and employed as a technician at Atlantic Lithium.
People's lives have been changed. I am currently employed. I now have enough money to support my mother and my family. It has been very beneficial to me. The majority of the men who were unemployed and took advantage of the opportunity now have jobs. You can be a casual worker and earn around 120 cedis if you are not a contractor.
We're still live on JoyNews Desk. We'll take a break and bring you business.
It's Christmas at the Evergreen Rattray Park with your superstation, Love 99.5 FM. Where are my bubbly little kids? It's the Love FM Xmas Kids Party! It's party and fun time for all the kids as we enjoy and make merry this Christmas. So parents, come with all the kids and let's have fun! Which school is good in these activities? Dancing, singing, choreography, picnic, horse race, lime and spoon. Register your school or Sunday school by calling 0245 594425. Says yeah. Santa Claus alongside Mickey Mouse will be there with loads of gifts. Remember, there will be bouncy castles, electric train, chuku-chaka, trampoline, horse race, a stationary aeroplane, TV games, and many more to play with. Face painting today, the corner there somewhere. Come, let's have absolute fun this Christmas at the Love FM Xmas Kids Party. Rate is 10 Ghana Cedis.
Date, Saturday, 23rd of December 2023.
9 a.m. sharp. Xmas Kids Party. Bronya Baye
Up for grabs for one rough diamond is the chance to be propelled onto the world's coolest catwalks and most amazing magazines. I'm back in Ghana to give one rough diamond the opportunity to propel onto the coolest catwalks and fashion magazines in the world. This is a journey of discovery for the nation's most promising model. Hi, I'm Stella Larby, and I'm Africa's Model Scout.
Before Ogun, the god of iron, I stand on oath.
By popular demand.
You forced words from me again, you big Sarah!
The biggest play in the history of African theater is back.
Odewale!
The gods are not to blame.
Eh? We sent you all the way to Ileife to bring us greetings from Ifa. All right, we greet Ifa too. Thank you.
Monday 18th, Tuesday 19th, and Wednesday 20th December at the National Theatre at 7 p.m. each night. Yes, for 3 nights only. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to see Olawotimi's classic tale of fate, The Gods Are Not to Blame, for the last time in 2023 at the National Theatre. Tickets are selling now for only 150 cedis at www.imagebureaugh.com or dial *711*11*25#. Supported by our media partners and proudly brought to you by Image Bureau in partnership with April Communications and the National Theatre.
Kumasi or Cyclone, stand up. Rattray Prime brings to you another unforgettable night of music and celebration. This is the biggest concert on the music calendar this year. It's the Night with the Stars 2023 featuring the maestro Kojo G, Kofi Kinata, Aquabwa, all on one stage. A dozen stop. Also performing is the ladies' man King Promise and Kitty, the girls them sugar.
Girls wanna have fun.
It's one big stage featuring these stars: Kojo Enki, Kofi Kinata, Aquabwa, King Promise, and Kitty. It's all happening on Christmas Day, 25th December 2023 at the Rattray Pack. Rate 200 cedis regular and 300 cedis VIP. I Love FM, Insura FM, Gotham Station, Ahoju Roundabout, Rattray Pack, Poku Trading, and all ABSA Bank branches. For table reservation, just call 020-601-8820. Night with the Stars 2023. You have no reason to excuse yourself. This event is brought to you by Rattray Pack, Media Partners, Love, and Insura FM, is powered by Logi Entertainment. Night with the Stars 2023. Ebafe Baye.
The Night with the Stars is sponsored by Django Energy Drink. No fear.
Your day is never dull when you tune into Joy Prime. Wake up to Prime Morning on weekdays as Roselyn, KMJ, and Asiedua kickstart your day with breakfast of issues.
The entire explains Sarkodia King Promise at the Grammy absence.
Stay informed with our news updates, sports coverage, all interlaced with captivating novella series. Sandwiching the thrilling telenovelas is our comprehensive news at 7. Unwind with Sports Zone, Mondays at 9 p.m. BMPS Show, Friday weekday at 9 p.m. and groove to the turn-up general selections at 10 p.m. on weekdays. The weekend is packed with loads of excitement from kids programs to captivating talk shows. Stay tuned for action-packed movies from Monday to Sunday and many other exciting shows only on Joy Prime. Joy Prime, your ultimate experience.
Back in the day, I was Ghana man, but something was missing until I found the one. HD Plus is not your regular free-to-air decoder. For a small fee, you get to experience great services and exciting world of content. Dial *879# on your mobile phone and subscribe for as low as 290 cedis. Fashion. This one is different. The images are 5 times clearer in HD picture quality, and I'm loving the feely experience. HD Plus. I love you.
But I'm still here.
HD Plus, for better,
for less.
That's right. Get your HD Plus decoder from any Electroland outlet or our dealer shops.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to Business. My name is Darryl Kwao. Chief Executive Officer of the Trima Kwahoma Rural Bank, Samuel Bonsu-Setre, has expressed concern about the low growth in the banking sector post-COVID-19, with the country's high inflation of 54.1% as of December 2022 and the city's 30% depreciation against the dollar. The banking sector recorded a slow pace of growth. According to Mr. Bonsu-Setre, policy initiatives introduced by the government, including the domestic debt exchange program, affected the banking industry and its growth. He spoke to the press at the bank's 40th anniversary celebration in Kumasi.
2022, the government announced the domestic debt exchange program, which required investors to surrender their existing bonds in exchange for new government bonds with maturity up to 15 years. This, alongside other policies, affected economic growth. At the 40th anniversary celebration of Achuman Kwahoma Rural Bank, CEO of the bank, Samuel Bonsu-Setre, said government policies affected the banking industry in 2022.
There are times that government policies have affected our operations, such as the domestic debt exchange program that we are all familiar with now. It affected almost all banks, and we were no exception. And then again, we work with a sector of the economy that is low income. And with the low income, the cost of granting credit to them is much higher than the higher end of the economic scale. And so we are faced with rising cost of operations from time to time.
President of the Association of Rural Banks, Kwame Owusu-Setre, says although the banking sector recorded a low growth in 2022, the rate is encouraging.
If you look at how the system was and how people perceived the challenges, that it was going to create a situation where our economy will not grow. But if you look at all the factors that we see around, you could see that yes, we are picking up, and particularly for the rural banking industry, a lot of the banks posted growth, profit, even though we were not expecting it to be the lowest that we have seen, but it is encouraging, and we hope that when the DDEP program ends, it's going to reflect in our books in terms of how we have managed the affairs of the banking industry.
The Achuman Kwahoma Rural Bank celebrated 40 years of banking and its impact in the sector. The CEO, Samuel Bonsu-Setre, assured customers of the bank's commitment.
We have been here for 40 years. And the level of operation that we've had over the 40 years have helped us to build a very robust bank. And so we are a bank that they can rely on. We are a bank that can meet their needs. We have customers who year on are growing their businesses. And we are happy to say that Achuman Kwahoma Rural Bank will grow along with their businesses. So they should continue to bank with us.
For JoyNews, Nana Boachidankwe Yadom, Kumasi.
And that's it for this segment. I shall be back to wrap up.